Hey YouTube, this is Laurel, the Dabbling Hook. I'm back from vacation and wish I was still on vacation. And I'm going to try to speak loudly. Someone commented that they wanted me to up the volume, and I can't figure out how to do that on my phone because everything seems up high enough. And when I listen to this on the computer, it sounds fine, so I'm not sure if that was this person's actual setting or mine, but best I can do. Like I said, back from vacation. I would have put in some pictures in the beginning, and if that doesn't work, then I'll put it at the end. But family and I went to Maine for the first time. It was great. And then we had a couple of days where it rained. One where it poured. We were supposed to go whale watching, and the sky just opened up. So we were inside most of the time, and the minions and their dad went to an arcade. I stayed and crocheted. And so when we got back home, we actually ended up going whale watching somewhere on the opposite end of where we went on vacation, which was great. And hopefully I would have put in some of the pictures. We actually got to see 3 different types of whales. Minke, which I guess is a common whale in that area. We went to Gloucester, Mass. And then we saw humpbacks, the hornbill humpbacks, and then finbacks, which I guess the scientists on board said they don't typically travel in groups, and there were 3 of these together, which was unusual too, so which was great. And a fish, which is the largest bony fish in the ocean. It's called a mola, or there's a different name for it. Can't think of it right now. But it's, if you look it up, it's she says it's, I think she said it's unfortunate is what she called it, and it missed out on the looks department, I guess, fish wise. But either way, it was great. We're back at work. I shouldn't say it like that. I'm back at work. It was a great vacation, and things are back to normal. So what did we do? I did look for a yarn store. I found 2 in another town close to where we were going anyway, in Kennebunkport, but one of them actually turned out to have just closed. And then the other place I found is actually a quilt and needlepoint store. Yep, needlepoint store, which I guess they recently moved up to Maine. They actually used to operate out of Boston, close to where I went to high school actually. But they're now taking on a lot of the yarns from that store that closed. So I didn't need yarn, but I just purchased a couple just because, you know, it was vacation yarn. So I will start off with acquisitions. What I ended up purchasing, and the store is called this, and the address on here still says Boston, Newbury Street, but they're actually now here, so they're in Maine. So what I bought in their orphan basket, which is 50% merino, 50% silk, and they're both no, one is 375 yards. Doesn't say if it's, one said DK. It's a heavy DK if it is. Yeah, DK weight. This one is only 350 yards. The color's suede and claret. Is it claret or claret? But they look to be the same. I think so. Oh, the claret might be worsted, a light worsted. But anyway, that's them. So I need to see if I have enough for, I think there were a couple of crochet shawls that I saved on Instagram. If not, I'll actually try my hand at another knitted shawl. So that was my vacation buy. And then when I got home, I had mail at the post office. I made an order from lovecrochet.com first time, and I was all excited because I know they send in these bags, but mine had what I call schmutz on it, and it looked like somebody had very dirty hands when they were packing my order. And I tagged Love Crochet on Instagram, but nobody responded, so probably be my last order from them. But the yarn I bought, which I had, I bought some yarn a couple of years ago. I don't know if it was from, it wasn't from them, it was probably from Dara Moore's or something. But it's this yarn, Carnival Chunky. And the colors I bought before, they didn't have now, and I forget what that color was, but it was right up my alley. I think I made a shawl out of it, and I'll put a picture of it if I can find it. It probably goes back like a year or two. But I bought a whole bunch of these. They had a sale going on, and I had a 15% first time purchase discount. So I just bought a whole bunch of colors. This one is, oh, the one I bought before is called Gao, G-A-O, Goa, Gao, whatever it's called. But I love those colors. So this one is called Ecuador, and I'm pretty sure they're named after places, yes. So this is Ecuador. I'm not much into greens, this better. But I like this one a lot. I think I have 4 of those, and I have one of New Orleans, or NOLA. I have one of Paris. This is greens and kind of teals and purples, pinks. I just love the color combos. This is Sydney. Blues and pinks and turquoises and purple. Then Rio. This is like nice bright summery color. This was the other Ecuador. I'm pretty sure the color I bought before is discontinued. And this is Venice. Blues. Yeah, shades of blues with browns in there. So that was my Love Crochet. And then also when I got home, just because there was a sale going on, Michael's has a lot of clearance going on right now. A lot of their summer stuff. So not particularly yarn stuff, but they're clearing out all the summer stuff. So of that, I just bought these big plastic tumblers because, you know, boys, and they drink, they guzzle things. So, and they break my glasses all the time. So these are like plastic summer glasses that have, it says chill out on it. It has a palm tree on one and sunglasses on the other, that type of stuff. But they also had the yarn. All the Loops and Threads yarns were buy one, get one free. And I've always wanted to try the Woolite, but it's so thin. It's just way out of my comfort zone thin. But the yardage is so great. It is 678 yards. So I can triple it and be able to make something out of it. So, and I also saw these colors on the Quirky Monday podcast, which is who's Kalisha. She had those. I think she bought it while she was on vacation as well, because she said her stores don't carry these colors. So I ended up buying these 4. So this one is golden yellow, teal lake, Pumpkin Spice. I love these two colors. This is brighter than it really is. Yeah, this is still bright, but not as bright as here. And then the other one is mauve. So, and then because these were on sale, I couldn't use the 50% off coupon, so I just picked up another one of Wool Like Thick and Quick, and I love this colorway. It's called River Run. I made my dad a hat out of one of these. I love this colorway. So just use my coupon, and then I don't know why, but excuse the rustling. This is taped down. I saw this bottle and I loved it for whatever reason, and it was glued on and I just took it off, but it's got a crow on it. So I can use it as photo props if nothing else, but it just, or sorry, I said a crow, it's a raven. But I like it. And then all their little baskets and things are on sale, and this one, or they were 70% off, but this one I think is missing the cover, so it was even cheaper. And I love these colors. Love these colors. Love, 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 love. On the inside. So that's where everything is being kept right now. So those were my acquisitions. I am going to desperately try to control myself. Yes, I have a crochet hook holding my hair out of my way. Alright, whips. I don't remember if I showed this last time. Maybe I did. It's just a mess. This is the Snowy Owl. I did the head, which came out right before I went on vacation, and I have not caught back up yet. So right now the head is done, and I just need to catch up with the videos because it's a hot mess, and I hope this is enough to finish. I think it is. Just finish the head, and then it's going to be moving on to the claws or the feet and eyes and, you know, all the embellishments. So I need to catch back up with that. The other one I need to catch back up with is oh, I'm shaking you, the dishcloth, the washcloth crochet along. Haven't done this week's yet, just trying to get out of vacation mode. I think, yeah, I think that's all my whips, right? Active whips right now, not all my whips. Okay, so what I did on vacation, normally when we go on vacation I bring a ton of yarn with me, and I keep looking over there because the minions are due back soon, and I want to make sure they don't just barge in. So what I usually do on vacation, I bring a ton of yarn, and at night, I'm a night owl, so I just crochet all night long pretty much. I did not do a lot of that this time, and it was quite disappointing because I usually use that time to get a lot of my a good head start on my fall items. So anyway, I'll show you what I was able to do. First thing that I made was a hat. Sorry, I'm going to be bending down a lot because everything's just piled up here. First thing I made was a hat, which has already been claimed after I posted a picture of it, even before, well, even while I was on vacation. This, you can't see the pattern. I'll show you on the next one what the pattern is, but I did this one, and this was a clearance colorway that I picked up at Michael's, but I'd done something else in this, and the person who claimed it, she, 2 craft shows ago, she bought something in this color, so she grabbed this. So I just need to meet up with her because she's local. So this is the pattern. It's actually a knitted pattern. I think I'd mentioned it before, that I want to write up. So speaking of, if anyone out there is watching and would like to do a test knit for me on a knitted hat, this takes me like a day to do. So if anyone would like to help out and do a test knit for me. I actually have two. This one is almost written up, at least written up enough to hand to a tester or testers. So if you would like to assist, comment below and let me know. Or comment below and send me your email address and I can send it out to you. That would be great. So this is the pattern. You can see it better on a solid color. And this is actually a large one. This was a medium one. I did another medium one. And these are my my labels I get from Etsy from a seller called All This Wood. She's also on they're also on Instagram. I think it's a husband and wife team. So that's this one, and then the small one, which doesn't have my I haven't put the label on yet, is this. So yeah. And then the other pattern, actually now that I think about it, I have 3 patterns. 2 of them are almost all written up and one I'm still working on. But the other one is this here. It's just a basket weave, but it's my basket weave. So there's this that I did. And then this one I've made the pattern since last year, but I'm just getting around to writing it up, and I won't tell you what my husband says it looks like, but is that. And I made a brown one last year, and this woman came into my booth and she says she wants to buy a hat for somebody, but they want something a little different. So I'm like, hey, there you go. And it was for a guy, so, and she scooped it right up, so there's that. And I may have to stop soon because I just got notice that my battery's low and I'm not close enough to a power cord to just plug in. Anyway, the other thing that I make, and I do sell a lot of at my fall shows, is, and I don't have a pattern for this, I don't work off of a pattern, so it's this. I call it my 2-button, last year my 2-button cowl. And previously, I've made it for the past like 3 years. It's had 2 buttons, one here, one here. Last year, I did the buttons here and here. What I find is people have trouble rebuttoning it after they've unbuttoned it. So I always tell them you don't need to unbutton it, you can just slip it on. But they still get confused. So this year I'm trying it without, I'm seaming it, so it's basically you just slip it on. There's no, the button is non-functional is what I'm trying to say. So this one I'm doing, I have these really large, I think it's a little over 2-inch buttons that I've had for a couple of years, just sitting there. So this one is my big button cowl. And this is the yarn I bought from Hobby Lobby. It is their Effortless yarn, and it's got either 10 or 20% alpaca in there. Let's see. Effortless. 20% alpaca, 80% acrylic. So, and I got it during one of those clearance that they had. So that's that. And then the regular size, I usually make it out of just acrylic yarn. This is the first time I'm doing it out of the acrylic wool blend, and Hometown USA is the yarn I usually use for this. So so instead of doing the 2 buttons like I did last year, again I'm doing the single button, but it's sealed or seamed, so it doesn't come apart. You just slip it in, slip it on. And I will put in a picture of it, a different one on my, actually this one over here on the mannequin. I will put in a better picture of what it looks like on the mannequin. So I was able to do that big button one. This is the regular size, the 40 millimeter buttons. Ugh, I cannot talk. 40 millimeter buttons that I usually use. I usually use the wooden buttons on them, and I'll show you in a second. So I got this one done in, I forget what this colorway is called. It's not cranberry. I do not recall. I usually use, like I said, Hometown USA, but these are actually the AC Moore Studio Heartfelt Heritage. They're basically the same yarn as Hometown USA. And this is my favorite color in that one. It's called Russet. It's totally a fall brown. I love it. So I did 2 of these, and this is the button that I usually put on here. There's this one and a lighter version of it. So I did 2 of these in Russet, and then 2 in this colorway I cannot remember, and then the one in the alpaca. And this one, because of the larger button and the alpaca content, will cost more than this one this fall. So there's that. And out of the scrap, so I also did this one. Like I said, this is the Hometown USA in Fargo Fields, and I believe this colorway is no longer available, or if it is, you'd have to find it online. It was very difficult to find it in stores, but I did order from online. And this is another button that I use, is the coconut shell button. And what I do with my leftover yarn, because depending on the hook size, you could always change the hook size with the cowl. Depending on how much yarn I have from either that or my hats, I make headbands. And I do have a pattern on my Etsy store, not my Etsy store, on my Ravelry store for this headband. And the pattern I have has it with, I think I wrapped the center, but I may update it at some point just to do a cinch. But so this is what I do with my leftover yarns. This is actually leftover from one of the other projects I will show you. Actually, it's leftover from this. And this is another headband. It's the back. This is the front headband that I will be doing. This is the same stitch I used in another pattern I have on Ravelry called my, which one is it? It's my Victrina beanie. So it's the same pattern. I just started making headbands from that. But this is the one that I have the pattern on Ravelry. And this did really well last year at the craft fairs, because I get a lot of, oh, I don't wear hats, blah, blah, blah. So the headbands was an alternative for people. The other thing I finished but haven't really finished, not completely, is the it was the Mystery Cow that the crochet project was running, and mine is done. I think I have just this one, the very last end to weave in that I'm waiting to, I need to block this because it's horribly curled and I'm just procrastinating on the blocking, but it's done. It's finished with this edging, so it definitely needs to be blocked to really open it up. The other thing, just a couple more, I think. So I mentioned this, and I'd shown this before. This is my fringe triangle cowl. The pattern has evolved size-wise. I do have the pattern again out there on my Ravelry store. It's also on Etsy as well. It was more of, it slightly came over your shoulders, but it was more just a big cowl to have around your neck. And a lot of people liked them at my craft fair, but they wanted it a little bigger. So you can always scrunch it up just to hang around your neck, but it does come down around your shoulders, and like I said, it's more of a cowl in the back. It's not like the poncho V in the back. So I got that one done on vacation, as well as this one, and this is in Thick and Quick, and this is the cranberry colorway, and I forget what this one is. Galaxy? No, not Galaxy. I forget the colorway, but Thick and Quick. Alright, the other thing, last thing, that I am so super happy that I am done with, and excuse the chair, like I've mentioned before, it squeaks, and I never remember to get a different chair until after I've started recording. So I think I'd shown this last time, the little baby hat that I made to go with the blanket I was working on, and blankets, as I've said before, are my least favorite things to make. But this was for a friend at work who I've worked with for years, and he's having his first baby next month, and thankfully they're actually having something on his team at work in a week, and I finished it last night. I had to push myself, so I love how it turned out. I especially loved the edging. The edging I followed from what's her name? Blossom Crochet, I think. It was either Blossom Crochet or Ophelia Talks. I will put which one it is that I got the patterns for and put a link to the video. So I did the edging, except the final edging is the crab stitch, but I didn't work it the normal crab stitch way, which is the reverse single crochet. I started a regular single crochet, and there's a way you can twist it to have the same effect, so that's what I did. But without further ado, and I'm gonna have to fold it, but I am so pleased. Ooh, just changed all red. This is the edging. So her edging was just the moss stitch or linen stitch or whatever it's called, and then I added the final reverse single crochet. Less frilly, but I think it finished it off nicely. So this is the Sunburst Granny Square, and I just snagged because of this. And what I didn't mention before, it's a modified Sunburst Granny Square. I don't do as many loops or as many double crochets in a cluster that the pattern I follow indicates, so mine is a little bit modified, so it comes out a little smaller. So I ended up, this is the Bernat Pop, all the blues. I used pretty much two full skeins or cakes of Bernat Pop. I think I had a little ball left. And then the white is just Stitch Studio by Nicole, Studio Classics from AC Moore. So that's what I used for that. I did 6 squares across, 7 rows up, and it's with the border, it's about 34 inches by 44 inches, so perfect size. And I am thrilled to pieces of how this turned out. Absolutely. I still dislike doing blankets, and I find that doing these, maybe if I wasn't on a time schedule or whatnot, it wouldn't have been so bad, but that's that. Alright, my battery's dying. I hope it doesn't cut me off. Last thing. Okay, I'm back. I got up to 15% on my charge before. Let's see how far that goes. Alright, so as I was saying, I got to 500 subscribers, so thank you everyone who came by. I know I got a few shout outs from Corsetta of Setta's Place. I will put her channel link below. She does blankets, and no, not that many. I guess she loves doing blankets, and good on you. I actually wish I did, because I actually have 2 more blankets I need to do. One doesn't have to be done till it's a Christmas present, and the other one, I don't think I'll get it done in time. Like I said, I'll put her channel link below. I have a few other shout outs to do, but I will do that on the next video because I'm running out of memory. Not memory, I'm running out of battery. So, since I've gotten to 500 subscriber giveaway, I was only going to do a pattern from Ravelry. So, but I've decided to pick 2 winners. I'm going to do a pattern from Ravelry with a total of $6. No, a pattern from Ravelry or a couple of patterns as long as it gets to $10. Not more than $10. And the other option, so whoever wins, the first prize winner or the first place winner will get to choose which one they want. The Ravelry pattern totaling $10, or I was going through some of my stuff looking for something, and I found this yarn that I dyed, and I did dye it with Kool-Aid and the neon Kool-Aids. So I found this yarn, and this is 100% merino, superwash merino that I bought from Craftsy. It is their Cloudborn, and it's really, really soft, and I love the colors. And this would not be repeatable because I was experimenting. And while I was searching for something, I found this bag that I made that matches this almost to a T. Look at that. So, the winner has a choice. It is a box bottom bag. And if you guys have seen, oh, what is her channel name? It's Allie of the Little Drops of Wonderful. She makes bags and she calls them dodgy bags, and I love that because that's kind of what I do. My bags are very, I say, dodgy, usable, still completely functional and usable. This one happens to have bright pink and green polka dots inside with the green whatchamacallit, zipper, and the handle's on the opposite side. Anyone that I make now, I put them on this side because I think if you're carrying it around on your wrist, nope, I lied. This is one of the newer ones. It is on the zipper, the closed zipper side, because you can carry it on your wrist and have this slightly open and still have nothing fall all the way out. When I first started making it, I was putting it on the opposite end, which things would drop out if you were doing that. So there's that and that for the second prize, or as a prize option. So you can either pick the Ravelry pattern or patterns totaling $10, or you can have this, courtesy of moi. So what do you need to do? Simple. You have to be subscribed, obviously, and let me know what your favorite hat pattern is. My favorite hat pattern is the Divine hat. I can't remember where I first saw it. I think it was on Erin or Gimme Yarn 418 way back when. I think it was on her channel, and I fell in love with it, and I probably made over 100 of them, and I don't have one around, obviously, but that is my favorite hat pattern. I've memorized it. I've done the brim in many different ways. I even have on my channel, one of my earlier videos, I did a whole slideshow of the Divine hat. It's called Simply Divine because I love it. So I'll put that, if I can figure out the information thing, I'll put that up there. So that's that. The giveaway will run for exactly 1 week. No, not exactly 1 week, until next Saturday. So I'll put the information below, and minions are back, so I gotta go. and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.